on, Wolfpack Nation? Hope you're doing well today. And obviously, again, we promised you that we would have Jarius back on here. Again, for those who don't know, this is technically part 3 of the interview with Jarius Morehead as we recorded an episode previously with him, but through some technical difficulties and issues, with our recording software, it didn't record the NASCAR side, which honestly, that was one of the coolest things. And one of the things we wanted to get was really kind of asking about Jarius's story and getting to where he is working with Hendrick Motorsports with NASCAR. So definitely, if you haven't checked out those parts yet, make sure to go check those out. As again, he's we're talking a lot about NC State football, talking about his time at NC State, talking about the team last year, things like that. But so Jarius, thank you so much for tuning back in here with us, man. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate y'all inviting me again.
Absolutely, man. Well, and one of the biggest reasons too, I want to make sure we get you on is because for the first part, unfortunately, also too, the video didn't work out either. Which I wanted to give our viewers, what you look like these days. You know what I mean? Want to see the age a little bit. A little bit older since your time at NC State. So, but yeah, man. So I know we were talking right before, and you were in Charlotte, North Carolina, obviously the hub, birthplace, the mother's center of NASCAR. And so I mean, I guess we'll just kind of get right into it. Obviously, first of all, I mean, I love that shirt. I mean, I grew up a diehard Jeff Gordon fan, so I'm loving me some Hendrick, baby. I love
There
it.
you go.
So so I mean, I guess we'll just kind of get right into it, man. So obviously, you finished your time in NC State, looking at the NFL draft, so I mean, first talk about, kind of, because I'm sure that probably during the pro day draft was when you probably were first contacted by NASCAR. Is that correct?
Most definitely. Right after my second, so like the first pro day of 2019 got canceled because of COVID. So I didn't have a pro day before it got looked at or talked to any team because they really wasn't flying anybody out, having private workouts and all that. So it's pretty much a year of just training, trying to get ready for that next year pro day.
Okay.
Coming up to that pro day in 2020, we had it in March, the end of March, and it didn't go so well. Pulled my hamstring, and then just prayed and prayed and prayed, and I asked for an opportunity. And Hendricks called probably like 2 or 3 weeks after, and I was like, I don't know nothing about NASCAR. I really don't want to do it, but I was like, maybe this is the opportunity I've been praying for. So they called. I said I would love to give it a shot. I fell in love with it. So
okay.
So how yeah, I was gonna say, how did they find out about you? Are they looking at like all like NFL potential players and just kind of looking at those athletes and seeing who they can get?
So pretty much their protocol is like they go find athletes that have been in like D1, D2, D3, guys that played or haven't played or try to go to the NFL that didn't get the opportunity, but great athletes, great people, great people in the community, all that, and they go to each colleges and they just go out and recruit. It's just basically it's the same thing as football. They go out, recruit, they try to get the best players, and like you said, you've been watching Hendricks. Hendricks wins, so they find guys that loves to win and love to compete. So
yeah, no kidding.
Smart.
Well, and so let me ask you. So when Hendrick called you, who was it on the Hendrick side that called you?
Keith Flynn. He's the recruiter. He's like the guy that does like all the developmental. He has all like the backup team. He handles all the backup teams and with the Devo guys and all that. So
okay, and you should tell him to give Icky a call. He'd be a great jack man.
Nah, Icky's about to have a long, good career.
I'm just saying that all that mass, man, his athleticism, man, one pump and that car's up, man. One pump.
He doesn't even need it. Yeah, he looked it up himself.
That's what I mean, though. So, yeah. So, I mean, because thinking back to, kind of a little bit of history here before we kind of really dive into this, the only player I know of in terms of recently that's gone to the NASCAR side is Asa Watson, former tight end, was within state 2013. And I remember he tried, and I don't know where he is right now, but I just know I remember seeing like a year or two afterwards that he was, in NASCAR working with the pit crew. And so it's fascinating, for sure. And I'm curious too, like, so when so you said that you've never heard, so like you've never seen a NASCAR race before you got the call?
I didn't even know like NASCAR, like pretty much NASCAR. Every team is in Charlotte. I was like, when I got here, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that NASCAR Hall of Fame's here. I'm like, I definitely did not know this.
Didn't you go to the Belk Bowl?
I did, but I wasn't paying attention like that. I mean, I knew it was a NASCAR like stadium and all that, but I wasn't like paying attention like that.
Yeah, that's okay. Fair enough. Yeah, no. So I mean, like, right after right after you got off that call, like, what was your reaction like? Did you like immediately pull up like a computer and go to YouTube and look up like what is NASCAR, watch videos and all that jazz?
I started watching, just started googling everything, like every detail, like what do I need to learn, what I need to do. Try to look up combines that they had before, because when I got the call, he said I'll call you back for some details. We're having a combine and all that. So I was like, Hendricks Motorsports combine, and I said, yeah, let me look that up, make sure I'm prepared,
Yeah.
and make sure I'm ready to go when that combine comes.
So, what man, yeah, see so many questions are going through my head because this is
I
all
know.
crazy. But I mean, so combine. So
Mhm.
what okay, so what all right, well here, first question. So
Uh-huh.
when you got off the phone with him, did he tell you what position of the pit crew that he wanted you in? Or
Uh,
like did he give you a heads up?
he said that he knows I'm a big guy. Like I'm around. He asked me how much I weigh. I told him like 220, all this blah blah. He said you could be a tire carrier, a tire changer, maybe jack man, but when you come in the combine, we're gonna look at you at everything. So that's what happened.
Cool. Before we continue, I want to take a quick second to tell you about our sponsor, Flatlands Jessup Insurance Group, that has your whole world covered, with agents in 5 offices throughout eastern North Carolina to help you decide how much coverage you need. Offering policies for home and auto, recreational vehicles, commercial, crop, health, life, and employee benefits. They are able to combine options to find a comprehensive solution that works for you. Flatlands Jessup protects the things you love so you can spend less time worrying and more time enjoying them. Find them on Facebook and Instagram at Flatlands Jessup. You can also visit their webpage at www.flatlandsjessup.com. So please make sure to go and check them out. So tell us through that process. So like what like where was the combine? Just give us the whole background of the combine. I'm very interested in that.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know if y'all know, but majority of NASCAR, like everybody played football. All the coaches coach football, coach basketball, or even coaching NFL. One of our coaches that he's not there no more. He's at Gibbs. He coached Ricky Williams at the Miami Dolphins for like 5 or 6 years. So every coach there has
Wow.
a football background. They just come to NASCAR after football is done with. So the
The heck?
combine is pretty much the same thing as the NFL combine. Pro days, it's 5, 10, 5,
Yeah.
bench, vert, quick shuttles. So everything that you see at the pro day
Crazy.
is exactly the same. So you got,
That's
and then you got to
crazy.
go through like the stretching to make sure like your joints, the evaluation, the body evaluation.
Right.
So everything that you see in the NFL or NBA draft or like their pro day, same thing, exactly the same thing.
And so like in terms of a feel, what like did you like not only like the feel of like was the feel of the combine different than your normal pro day, and also too like like was preparation like in terms of like how you prepare different at all?
No, it's just like I knew I was gonna be in cleats, so I was like, okay, I gotta start working out in like basketball shoes or like running shoes. Because I was still training just to be ready just in case I get a call. Still like working on vert, still working out every day, still running. So it wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, let me get ready for this. Like I was already ready and I already prepared for anything that happened at that combine.
Wow. Yeah. And so I mean I'm assuming you completed the test and all that jazz. I'm sure you killed it. I mean obviously Coach Thunder got you ready to kill it, so I expect no less. And then so like what? I'm sure like probably a couple days went by and then like because I mean I'm assuming that is it a combine just for Hendricks or is it Hendricks, Joe Gibbs, the
No,
whole
it's
nine
just
yards?
for Hendricks. So guys, they trying to bring in for Hendricks. So they bring in like a new like it's basically like I said like college or NFL. They bring in new
Yeah.
guys every year. Trying
Right.
to push the guys in front of them, make a new developmental group.
In terms of like competition, because I'm assuming that probably on the phone, I mean, maybe once you got to the combine, did you find out or like know ahead of time like how competitive it was? I mean, like is it like maybe he told you like yeah, like we're gonna have probably 100 people there, and we're only gonna take 10 of them. Like did you know ahead of time kind of how competitive it was, and then I mean how competitive is it actually?
Very competitive. Like I said, it's like ex-athletes, ex-college athletes. Some guys that played in the NFL and then got cut or whatnot. He did tell me that
Right.
that year that I came in, it was kind of like a perfect timing because they were taking like 6 or 7 guys, but they ended up taking 3. But they was telling me it was like 6 guys they're gonna take, and usually the numbers would be like 150, and they only picked 6. But this year it was only like 27, 30 guys, so like the numbers was like cut down, and they actually got like an opportunity to look at everybody and all that. So he told me ahead of
Hmm.
time of what was going on.
Cool. Okay. And so how to work, so I mean, I guess you got the call, saying, hey, love to have you. Did they tell you then, like, what position like they wanted you at, being a tire changer? And then I mean, did they ask for like your input? Like, did you like going into it kind of have like a preference, if they asked you if you wanted an opinion?
No, and then like after the one mini camp, they were like, we will give you a call back, and then after the mini camp, we had like a 1 day camp, which they brought us back, and we had another camp, like pretty much another camp. And after that, they were telling me that with the new style of pitting, that we was gonna try me at the tire changer and then tire carrier also. So it's like you gonna do multiple positions.
Cool. And so because I mean, at the time, were you still living in the Raleigh area, I'm assuming?
No, I was living in Winston Salem, so it's like whenever I had the
Okay.
camp, I would drive up here and all that. They would pay for hotels, everything. So it was like it was nice. So
Daggone right they are. They're making money. So, um, yeah, no, well, I mean, that's really cool. And so, you know, at that time, I'm sure you're doing research and all that jazz. So when you were, kind of learning about the sport, even before you really started as a tire changer, was there something that, really, I guess stood out to you or maybe even shocked you a little bit, when you were researching the sport, learning about the sport a little bit?
no, I just knew that when I went to mini camp, I was like, "This, they are definitely athletes, and you definitely got to be ready and
Yeah.
be conditioned for this." So it changed my mindset and like thoughts about NASCAR.
No kidding, no kidding. And, yeah, I mean, and then when you went to, you got the call headed that way. So, what was the training like, in terms of, when you got rock and rolling, like, what was kind of the onboarding process like?
So pretty much, they said they was gonna give us 2 weeks. They're gonna give us a call in 2 weeks. Probably got the call and probably like right after the season. So that was not right after the season. Probably like 4 or 5 races left in the season. They gave us a call and they were like, we want to sign you to Hendrix and all that." And we had like 2 weeks to like figure out like our moving situation, which sucked, but everything worked out. Um, and yeah, so I moved up here in around October, like the first week of October, and been in Charlotte since.
Cool. All right, good deal. Well, with that being said, we're going to take a pause right there. As again, obviously, this is obviously a different setting. Typically we would do longer episodes, but again, since we're basically catching up for the first lost part, we're doing basically again 2 shorter parts. But again, make sure to join in with us for part 2 here. As again, we continue this conversation here, learning about Jarius's journey so far throughout the NASCAR world, and even talking maybe a little bit in terms of maybe some experiences, maybe learning some celebrities that he didn't know maybe at the time were really celebrities. So
Most definitely.
so make sure if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out whenever we release new NC State content. Give this video a like so that way YouTube put this video in front of more NC State fans. And also give us a follow on Tuffy Talk Now on Twitter and Instagram. But make sure to tune in with us for part 4, I guess. As always, hey, go back, y'all.